Hey guys, it's Rising. It's Rising Thorns as always. And I hope you guys enjoy this. As always, again, check out my Instagram, Rising Draws. You should be seeing some stuff pop up over there. And of course, my Discord server. Hopefully, link is down in the description. But let's get right into this. With Naruto was a Dragon Slayer, Part 2. So let's do a quick recap. So what happened was Naruto was abducted basically by Wendy's dragon. Still don't know his name. Please someone tell me in the comments. By Wendy's dragon. Wendy's dragon literally knocked him out. And he found his way to Henley Village. Befriended Hiruzen, went through the whole backstory. Again, watch part 1, we smart or since. And of course, as always, and he had actually met Sasuke, beat up Mizuki, and I think that's where I left off. I literally just watched the video, by the way. I think that's where I left off. I remember me saying Mizuki had a missing arm afterwards. And then, now, let's get back into this. We're going to actually be skipping 1 year. Naruto is far stronger. At this age, he's easily high tuning. But he's not Jonin level yet. He's just high tuning. And so is Sasuke. Sasuke is actually very powerful. They train together every day, but they can't seem to break past the barrier of being a Jonin. They don't know why. And Naruto thinks, hold up, wait. What if we absorb other elements? It says we would die. Remember how didn't your dragon say yeah? He said yeah, but I never actually tried it. And they don't know anything. They never been Dragon Slayers. They always said, they advised that they never actually saw a Dragon Slayer do it. So let's try it. And Naruto's like, how about I devour your flames and you devour my wind? It'll empower both of us so much further. I'd be able to use flames far more powerful, and so will you. But no, I control the flames like wind. And Sasuke's like, that's dumb though, alright. If you die, it's not my fault. And he says, fire. He says, spear of the fire dragon. And he summons he actually makes a small spear. It's not giant like he usually would make. It's just small, nothing for Naruto to eat, but it's compact. Like, there's a lot of flames in it, but it's very small. And Naruto pops in his mouth and swallows it. And Naruto grabs his neck and starts, basically, he almost passed out and hit in the ground. And says, ah, it burns, it hurts and burns. And he's just in pain. For those who don't know, please watch this scene. Please watch Fairy Tail. It's a specific scene. And he's just punching the ground over and over and over, saying, it burns. After 5 minutes, Hiruzen shows up, and Naruto's just like, it burns, but I must control these flames. And flames literally, like, shoot out. Like, everyone has to jump back besides, Sasuke. Sasuke actually puts his hands out and starts shaping the flames for Naruto. He says, Naruto, you done it. Naruto's just like, you're right. Naruto says, sword of the flame dragon. And the sword actually does appear. He's using the basics what he learned from his one dragon techniques. And he's just using the flame, he just controlling the flames using his wind. And he says, how? He says, here you go, Sasuke. And then he says, fist of the wind dragon. And he compacts it. And Sasuke kind of just like, it hits him dead on, but he absorbs it. He literally eats it the whole time. And Sasuke's like, I feel way lighter. Almost too light. Like, I'm lightheaded. He says, that makes sense. Your flames burnt, my air is light. He said, like, my flames are too light for me to handle. And he starts conjuring a whole bunch of flames. Says, I'll control these light flames though. And his flames are actually pure white. And he says, I control these white flames though. And he puts his hand together, and the giant ball of white flames just formed. Says, this power, this is what we need to break Jonin level. And he says it is, but I'm not sure if I can even control this. Especially, I don't think you especially can. You can barely enter Dragon Force. It says, "Shut up! I gained enough power to beat Itachi." And Naruto heard of Itachi over and over by Sasuke, but he never knew who that was. And Naruto plain just says, "Who is Itachi and why are you so obsessed with him?" And Sasuke says, "He's my older brother. I reveal everything." And he goes through a whole Uchiha backstory. Naruto's just like, "Wow, what a douche." And Sasuke's like, "I'm gonna kill him." But Naruto all of a sudden appears red-eyed and says, "Flame, hatred isn't the answer. Neither is revenge." And Sasuke's like, "What happened to you wanting to find your parent? Isn't that revenge?" And Naruto's just like, "What parent?" And he snaps out of it and says, "Wait, what happened? Your flames are taking over." He says, "Wait," he says, "What? My flames don't have their own sentience. Don't have their own sentience." And Naruto says, "My wind does, and they're taking over my wind." Says, and Naruto says, "Guardian of the wind dragon, child." And he actually takes up a somewhat what's called meditation, and he actually starts floating in the air, and he's using a whole bunch of his wind to make the literal guardian. It looks exactly like Wendy, a small child, blue hair, and a small child with blue hair and a cat. For those who don't know, Wendy and Natsu both have eyes. And Naruto says, "Wait, what is that?" And Naruto says, "This is the original Dragon Slayers." Sasuke, I'll explain more. And by this time, this whole place been covered in wind, so the Hiruzen can't hear them. Naruto's no Hiruzen there, even though he's trying to be sneaky. So I'll explain later. And he grabs Sasuke and quickly disappears and says, Make sure your flames don't take control of you." He says, "Sure." He says, and Naruto bends down towards Wendy and says, "Hello, Wendy." And Wendy's just like, "Oh, so you're the new Dragon Slayer." And Sasuke is just stunned. Naruto says, "I learned this when I was about 7 years old. I didn't learn this technique per se. It's just she crossed over with her own strength after millennial not being able to do so." And Sasuke is just like, "What do you mean?" He says, we come from this world, but Dragon Slayers do not. Nor do the dragons. They come from a completely different world. Their world is called, whatever their world is called, and their country is Magnolia. And it says, we are part of many universes. Some dragons crossed over from here. They were split into two. Our version and their version." And Wendy says, "Yeah, we actually had the Igneo and your dragon. But and then she says, "But unlike yours, he was placed inside me. I think yours actually ran away." He says, "No." And Naruto says, "Maybe, I hope not. I want him to be with me forever." Naruto slowly starts breaking down over the talk with Wendy. And Wendy is just like, "I know how hard it must be, Naruto." And Sasuke just like, "Wait, can I do that too?" He says, "Yeah. Just focus all your flames into a single person. The origin of your flames." And he says, and take up the same, it might not be the same stance. And Sasuke takes up the tiger stance. This is the take up the tiger hand seal. This is the main seal used in fire style, so he assumed it would be a good thing, and it works for him. And he says, Natsu appears. It's like, "I'm all fired up. I'm finally back into the real world." Well, at least this reality. And Natsu kind of cracks his fist, like, "Why did you summon me here?" "Oh, Wendy, is that you?" And Wendy's just like, "Hey, Natsu, where's Happy?" And Happy, suddenly appears. He's like, "Hey, Wendy." And he says Wendy's cat name and says, "Where is she?" And Wendy's like, "She's right here trying to hide from you." And it's like, why are you hiding from me?" And it's like a funny reaction from Sasuke, because he really did not expect this. He thought it would be like another child or something, especially a female one. But he was not expecting the hot-headed one with pink hair. And Sasuke kind of says, "You remind me of that girl, Sakura. She also has pink hair." And after hearing that, Nacho says, "She must be epic then. The only epic in every reality. People with pink hair is really cool, including mine. I'm the main character. Mine." She says, "Main character." And Wendy shouts at Nacho, says, "Don't reveal nothing yet." And says, "Huh? Oh, sorry. Guess you didn't tell him yet." And they are, by the way, they know their shows. Like, they know that people actually watch us. People watch them for entertainment. And Nasa's just like, "Never mind, forget I even said that." And Sasuke's like, "No, I can't just forget it. What do you mean by main character? Is this like a movie or something? Is that whole world a movie or something to you?" He says, "No, not quite." And Sasuke was not pleased with this answer. He wanted to know exactly what was happening. But Natsu just says, "Kid, I'm telling you, you don't want to get mixed up with the guy named Zeref and also his dragon. I know that he's here. He wanders around spreading death all around him. He's my older brother. Only I can stop him. Says, not just be exactly like you. His flames will burn away everything, including his magic." And Sasuke kind of assumed he was using magic. Says, "I hope so, kid." And Natsu disappears, and so does Wendy. And Natsu's just like, he's breathing heavily, and Sasuke is too, after he breaks the hand. So he never realized how much stress was on his body from doing that. But Sasuke is just like, "We reached Jonin level, but we must train even more." So they train literally every day. And Sasuke started using his flames to try and figure out what's going on and trying to like burn away his reality. Trying to cross over to whatever world Natsu was in. And obviously, Natsu and the world in general was not very happy with this. So the world one day ended up completely rejecting his flames. He couldn't use his flames for 3 weeks. But that's right about the time where Kakashi showed up. We're actually going to be skipping forward to the bell test. Everything Naruto still is worse, Sasuke is still the best. And technically, Naruto isn't the worst. It just takes ways when manipulated hardcore. Because, what's it called? By the way, we actually went back in time for a little bit to explain some stuff. And now we're back in the present. And, what's it called? He ended up being on the same team. And Kakashi's like, "You have to take these bells from me." And Naruto just says, "Wind magic, the cause of the wild wisp." And he whispers this. And he takes the bells, no problem, and gives one to Sasuke and he says, "Got them." Says, "What was that?" It says, "My own type of ninjutsu, or dojutsu if you want to call it that. Dragon Slayer." And Naruto is way more hot-headed than Naruto. They kind of like, Wendy and Natsu kind of flip positions and when the reincarnations happen. Naruto's just like, "Now it's time to destroy you." He says, Wind dragon, arm of the wind dragon, jutsu." Because honestly, he still has to say jutsu. And his arm completely gets encased by wind, and it becomes scaly and way larger. It says, "This is what I like to call the arm of the wind dragon." As you heard from the name, now get beaten to pulp by it. And he went to go punch Kakashi, but Kakashi substituted himself for Sasuke. But the winds that was around Naruto's arm suddenly dispersed and turned into something more like spears. And Naruto says, "Wind spears, jutsu." And then Kakashi completely stunned how fast he could perform these and switch them into other stuff. And Naruto actually wasn't aiming for Kakashi, he was aiming for the bells and knocked them off and grabbed it using the will-o-wisp again. But other than that though, I'd be leaving it off again. Also, almost forgot, signature speech of Kakashi. "Those in the ninja world who disobey orders are scum." That is true. But those in the ninja world who abandon friends are even worse than scum. Okay, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as always. Again, check out my Instagram, Rising Draws, Discord server, link down in the description. Other than that, though, I hope you guys have a great day as always. And it's rising is logging off.